I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down. He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack. Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he wants. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire if you have to? Please, just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Water! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You got shit. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got dropped, man.
Are you kidding?
No, you won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Yes. What is up, MCR family? Another daily or semi-daily edition of the show live on YouTube. Don't laugh, Rob. Like, we did a lot of shows in the last week. You can't laugh. It's almost semi-daily.
It's not even bi-weekly. What are you talking about?
We had like 5 shows in the last week. What are you talking about? Oh, where did Gary go? Oh, he's back, sort of. Hopefully Gary doesn't have issues again. But anyways, I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. This is Mixed Combat Radio. Hit the like button, share the show. It's going to be a jam-packed show. Canelo Alvarez may or may not be fighting John Ryder or David Lemieux, so we're going to be diving into that one. We obviously have Anthony Joshua fighting in castles or on a yacht or some shit. And digressing back to Canelo, he might be fighting in like Mount Rushmore. It's a weird show. Tyson Fury and the whole farmer situation's no longer a situation. Shout out to Daniel Kinahan. Lomachenko, Lopez, it's not happening anymore. Jamal Charlo, Derevchenko may be happening. A lot to get to on today's show, guys. Now, obviously, we had fights last night, which we're going to dissect and break down as well. We may have fights tomorrow, depending what happens with Top Rank right now. But without further ado, let me get to my panel of enlightened and an infamous co-host, Mr. Robbie Hearns, second cousin, twice removed of Sir Eddie. Rob, how are you, man?
Well, after that intro, I'm hyped for some boxing this year. What the fuck? That ain't happening. That ain't happening. This is happening in fucking outer space.
Hey, some of it could be happening on like boats in Mount Rushmore and shit.
Yeah.
Or Alcatraz.
Yeah, I believe Bob's booked the moon. Hoping for a crowd. Oh, jeez. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, good to be back. Some interesting topics to get into. So, yeah, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, share the show. And, yeah, Gary, how you doing, man?
Gary in Dallas.
It's good to be back. The cornrows are gone, but we have another sneaker review, okay? We have the threes. What? We have the threes in baby blue. My wife said, but you have these. I said, no. Carolina blue. Got them from StockX. Okay. Christmas time they were $700. Got them this week for $300. So because of the pandemic, wait. People are broke, and you can get these for a reasonable price.
$300 reasonable.
Jeez. From $700.
I don't care.
I wasn't paying $700 for them at Christmas time.
But you paid $300 during coronavirus. You're a fucking lunatic.
But they're worth it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Tar Heel blue, the Carolina blue Jumpman logo as well. I give these 3.5 stars out of 4. Is it 4 or 5 stars? So 4.5 stars out of 5.
What are you doing?
It's your review, man.
You've never watched. You've never watched a sneaker review on YouTube?
Yeah, but
no, never in my life. That was my first.
Okay. Well, no, I've done at least 2 other ones on this show.
Yeah, I know. I blanked out.
I'll be honest, Gary. If you have done before, I probably blacked out like Rob did. And I'm not a sneakerhead. So like I've never.
I did one
because they're $300, Matt.
$300.
That's fucking right. Gary's balling out here, but he's not a baller. What the hell?
I did one when I did the snakeskin Penny Hardaways.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And then I think I did one for the Carolina blue 11s.
Yeah, that's when I hit the thumbs down for the first time ever on the show.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone if they just did that too. I apologize to our listeners, our viewers.
At least we got the basketball story out the way early.
It's not baseball yet.
Yeah, he's probably got some cleats coming out in a minute. Check these out. Cleats review. 97.5 stars out of 98. Yeah, sure review, Gary. You can set as many stars as you want. It could be 9 out of 10. It could be.
It's apparently Gary's show now.
Yeah, crack on.
We just did a sneaker review. That's all.
Yeah.
A brief sneaker review.
That's cool. I do like them. They're nice.
I'm so glad we did a show today, guys. I almost was like, hey guys, like this are not like great topics, but no, we can do 3 hours on that. What Gary just fucking did right there.
I think there's a wild boar farmer currently wearing a pair of $700 trainers, deciding not to talk about supplying meat. He's being looked after now.
You want to get to some boxing, Gary and Rob? I know you guys want to talk about sneakers apparently and like other stuff. You want to get to some boxing or not boxing? Because
by the way, we call them trainers. No one here calls them sneakers.
Trainers?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just like a weird thing to call them.
I don't get it. Like crisp, I get. Like I get that. Instead of chips, I get that 100%.
Yeah.
But
I get trainers. It's just like weird. Like you train in them, like they're athletic shoes. Trainers. Like,
no. A nice pair of like Jordan sneakers. I'm not training in those.
Oh heck no. No.
Trainers.
Kind of what they're made
Are you sneaking in them?
Oh my God, I'm not even going to get.
Yeah, 1-0 UK.
Fucking Rob trolled me, guys. I apologize. Let's get to some boxing, guys.
Yeah.
We do not have a Canelo fight in September, depending who you ask and whose deleted tweet now we're going to go by. Because that my Copter tweet now is deleted, which I find highly, highly interesting. Or at least it was deleted and he posted another one because the one you sent me, Rob, is not working. And it says this tweet has been deleted. So maybe double check that before.
Oh, maybe his information was incorrect then, and an offer has been received
and
by one of those.
As I present this topic, Rob, can you please double check his profile, make sure it wasn't just like a spell check error and he just wanted to correct it? Because I do that sometimes. Kevin Iole first reported that he did an interview with Hall of Famer and part owner of Golden Boy Promotions, Bernard Hopkins, and he said that Canelo is most likely fighting John Ryder in September. We then have a Mike Coppinger tweet that came out just like 20 minutes ago that says Eddie Hearn tells The Athletic he wrote to Golden Boy earlier this month to say 4 fighters are available to fight Canelo Alvarez on September 12th. Callum Smith, John Ryder, Demetrius Andrade, and Dimitri Bivol. So far, Hearn hasn't received a single offer. That tweet was sent 1:51 p.m. So like 9 minutes before the show. This one I'm finding isn't deleted, but the one you sent is deleted. So did you find it? Was it just a spell check error or something, Rob?
I just sent that.
Oh, send it again.
I
Perfect.
think it's the same one. So I don't know. Why
No, it's not the same one. But anyways, digressing.
23 minutes ago. So let me check when I sent the text.
Digressing, Rob. It's okay. It's okay.
I want to be right.
But what is going to happen with Canelo, guys? Obviously, we have a alleged September fight.
Yeah, it's the same tweet.
We have Bernard Hopkins saying it's John Ryder. We have Mike Coppinger saying that John Ryder has received 0 offers. It's only 2 months away now. What's happening with Canelo Alvarez in September or this year? Gary, I'll go to you first. Or Robert.
I'm just saying. The tweet says...
Yeah, Rob, we got it. We got about the tweet.
No. He hasn't received a single offer. Maybe there's more than one.
I hate you so much.
You get me.
We're going to Gary now just because...
No. Let me just say...
I get the joke. I get the joke.
I have heard that Ryder is currently the front runner for the fight.
What does that mean if there's no offers being sent?
I'm just saying.
Gary.
It's not happening. Just like T.O. Loma, just like Gervonta and Leo Santa Cruz. That was all but done, right? And that's just gone. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence was going to happen. That's gone. Like, it's not happening.
Oh, Wilder Fury 3?
50-50.
Not happening.
I'm leaning towards it does, but just I'm not confident in that.
I'm not confident.
Something's got to happen. Some fights got to happen. I'm going with that one, with Wilder Fury 3.
The biggest one. Wait, hold on. The biggest one of the bunch is going to be the one that happens.
Too much money for it not to is my guess. That's why I'm going with that one.
But it's the same reason why none of these fights are happening. There's too much money on the table that they can't make because of the pandemic.
No, they're going to do it. They'll find some place to do it with fans. They'll get a big gate. I don't know what country that's going to be in, but it'll happen.
Mount
You
Rushmore.
can't even go to Mongolia. They got like the Black Plague or something, right?
Oh my god, fuck that, bro! I saw that headline. I'm like, no.
I'm like 2020. I'm done now. I'm
out.
Nah, I'm gonna rip Van Winkle this and go to sleep for however long and just wake up. Everything will be okay.
Moving away from Wilder Fury because I feel like we can maybe just debate that for a while, but we don't need to. Back to Canelo. Rob, you say that John Ryder is the front runner. That's what you're hearing. Obviously, Bernard Hopkins thinks that John Ryder is the next guy for Canelo Alvarez, but we have no offer being sent. Is this fight actually going to happen on the timetable that they are presenting it, or is this just them talking to talk? And also, let's bring in this angle because it's relevant. Canelo is not the one presenting this information. It's Golden Boy. And Golden Boy and Canelo are not on speaking terms, not really working together quite well right now. So
Golden Boy are a long-standing, reputable promotional company within boxing, Matt. I don't know why you're doubting this. We know who's at the helm of everything. I have no idea why you would doubt any of this to be factually correct.
I hate you so much, Rob. I hate you so much. But seriously, Rob, like your take on this, like, do you really think that this is going to happen, or is this just the promoter talking right now, just to sort of leverage their fighter through public pressure in a way? Like, if maybe in Golden Boy's mind, if they're the ones out there putting out the information that all these fights could happen, they're in negotiations, blah blah blah, but Canelo sitting back, not talking with them, not actually negotiating, they're hoping it's going to apply public pressure on Canelo to make the fight, have the pay cut that they've been hoping for, and they can get this fight going. Because that's another issue we need to bring up, is that they've been looking for Canelo to take a pay cut. And I don't see Canelo taking a pay cut to fight John Ryder, even though it's John Ryder. I just don't see it.
I do. I mean, listening to Pug and Cop a few times, they've sort of alluded to the fact that Canelo is looking to fight. He does want to do a fight for the fact, and I think it would be quite a statement if the air quotes face of boxing did take a little dip in his pay, which I don't know, probably somewhere someone else tops it up. Just like I think like Golden Boy, when they present an offer to whoever it is I think someone else is gonna help prop that their purse up a little bit as well, just to help get it done. But I'm mildly confident that this will get done. Whether it is Ryder or not, we'll wait to see, because I know there's about 70,000 fighters linked with the Canelo fight right now, ranging from Callum Smith, the super middleweight champion, down to Lemieux, who said it's a perfect style matchup, but he won't come cheap. So well done, you've just priced yourself out. Terriano Johnson, Willie Monroe was linked at one point. Blah 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 blah. Coppinger did say that Canelo and DAZN were on the same page, and they both wanted the Callum Smith fight. So that's great, those two. But it depends what Golden Boy are out here saying, But yeah, I'm I guess cautiously optimistic that Canelo will fight, and I think it will be quite a statement, and it might make some of the other big guys kind of maybe sit up and go, oh, okay, yeah, but I don't know. But I think we will get it.
I don't see any of that happening. I don't see Canelo taking a pay cut, period. I can see him saying that he wants to fight for the fans, and that makes a lot of sense. But that's nowhere in that is him saying that he wants to take a pay cut. If David Lemieux's out there, another Golden Boy fighter, saying, I don't want to take a pay cut to fight the biggest fight of my life. I don't want to take a pay cut. then, and he, by the way, he said that to Manuk Akwapayan of Boxing in LA Times for our listeners, if they want to go check out that interview. If Lemieux is saying that, no way is Canelo going to say that when he's had documented issues with Golden Boy. And him and DAZN, when I say him, Canelo and his team and DAZN be on the same page of them wanting a Callum Smith fight, makes all the sense in the world. But if Golden Boy is still asking for pay cuts to both fighters, that fight's simply not happening. I can see John Ryder taking a pay cut because he's that gatekeeper of the top 10, top 15. He might be more willing to take that pay cut. But Canelo is still not willing to take that pay cut, in my opinion. There's been no quote from him saying that he will take a pay cut. And again, if you're talking between the two parties that are not on the same page at all, are not on speaking terms, are literally only discussing deals and financials through lawyers, then I don't see that happening. And I also want to say that I disagree with the idea that like it would be a statement of some sort that Canelo takes a pay cut. Maybe it would be a statement, but I think it would be quite a negative statement to the sport if one of the biggest fighters that we have has to take a pay cut just to appease his angry, bitter promoter.
But
like,
what if he wants to? What if he wants to? That's what I'm saying. What if he wants to? It's not to.
He doesn't have to, though.
No, but what if he wants to? If that's the only way he can fight, he doesn't want to sit on the sidelines.
What if, like, cows jump over the moon? What if a lot of things?
I'm saying you're putting this on Golden Boy or Oscar, but what if Canelo's like, I'm not prepared to sit out and lose, waste some time in my career. Let's get a fight done. I'm aware of the situation, and I'm happy.
If he says that, then I think that would be pretty sad of him, a guy that has had a lot of issues with Golden Boy, to at this point when he has a lot of leverage against them, to just abandon that leverage. That'd be very pathetic on his side, in my opinion. I will say this. I don't think that happens, though. Like, you keep saying, like, what if he does this? There's no evidence that that's what he thinks. Like, there's nowhere that you can say that, oh, this points to Canelo thinking that way. Everything points to Canelo taking the opposite. So I don't think any fighter out there should take a pay cut right now. I think you should all be demanding more pay. Gary?
Look, no fighter should take a pay cut. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Canelo should not. Canelo's like, I want more hazard pay. Like, Canelo can do whatever he wants. If you're John Ryder or Lemieux, you're not getting this fight under normal circumstances. So if you really believe in yourself and you think you can beat Canelo, okay, get your money in the rematch and beat him now. I'm not saying fight for dimes, fight for pennies, but you got to kind of hedge on yourself if you think you can win. Because Billy Joe, if Derevyanchenko beats Charlo, Derevyanchenko will get more on the next offer. Billy Joe will get this offer again. If you're Lemieux or Ryder, you ain't getting another opportunity to fight Canelo.
I think Lemieux and Ryder I would probably agree with you in terms of those level of fighters, like the Terriano Johnsons of the world, right? Like, they're not they don't have the leverage, so to speak, that some of these other people have. But the Billy Joe Saunders of the world, the Callum Smiths of the world,
no,
they're looking at what Jacobs got, for example, or what even like Rocky Fielding got in terms of pay. They're going to want something that reflects their status compared to those guys. And
I agree with that. Those guys should not take a pay cut, right?
And I just don't see it happening. I just don't see them having that pay cut.
Because next time Canelo fights, those are names: Andrade, Billy Joe, Charlo. Those names are all going to be brought up again. So just make the money when the money's available. But those other guys, Willie Monroe, Toriano Johnson, you're not getting another shot at this. So if you really want the fight, hedge on yourself that you can beat them, and then if you win, you get the money. You'll get way more money in the rematch. Unless you're Shane Mosley, who held out for $15 million against Oscar, and then fought Vernon Forrest as a side fight, waiting for them to sweeten the pot for the De La Hoya rematch, and then lost to Vernon Forrest. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know everyone's on the whole, they should expect to get more during this, but it's just not physically possible. So basically no one's going to fight. That's all. Talk about hazard pay, but a lot of these guys are earning peak maximum money that they could probably get anyway. I don't know where you're going to find extra money from to pay them more. and then it's a decision whether you want to sit and wait and watch your career sort of, not knowing when you might fight again. Yeah.
Well, Canelo's 29 years old. Like, so what? He waits 2 years. He's 31. Oh well. Like, we're acting like that's like some big loss in time. Like, Mike Garcia lost 3 years. Andre Ward lost 3 years. Like, a lot of fighters have lost years of their career and been.
Floyd Mayweather took 2 years off. Yeah.
Tons of fighters take time off, or they're forced to take time off, and they come back, especially the great ones. And Canelo is one of the great ones right now. So that shouldn't be an issue if he has to take a year off, 2 years off because of this, because he cannot generate the exact revenue that he earns when he usually fights. I get your point about, let's say, if your promoter or network not being able to give hazard pay. I get that. But as a fighter, you shouldn't argue it. You should negotiate for it. Like, the second they say you should take a pay cut, you should say, no, I want hazard pay.
That's what I'm saying. The hazard pay is just negotiating tactic. I go high, you go low. We meet in the middle.
Absolutely. That's what it is for. I don't really expect that to happen, Rob, but I expect if you're good in the negotiation room and you have a good manager, you argue that, hey, I'm going to be taking flights, having people brought in for sparring. I'm presenting a lot of risk to myself as an athlete to a dangerous infectious disease that damages the lungs forever. Yeah, I'm going to want hazard pay. And that's, again, part of the negotiation. Maybe not get it, but fucking you should ask for it. And I think all these undercard fighters should ask for it too. Like, all these guys on Top Rank that are getting COVID constantly, I hope they're getting paid some restitution for getting COVID. I hope any of these fighters right now that are fighting are putting in these new contracts that they're getting some sort of guaranteed pay that if they get COVID and are forced to have a fight, they still get paid something. Maybe not full purse, but something. Because you get COVID, you are damaged for life. And you're an athlete? Yeah, you should argue for this. Absolutely. And again, as we know it, Rob, maybe you can correct me on this, the budgets for these promotions from their networks have not changed due to COVID.
Well, no one's done a show, so I guess the budget's still there. If anything, they might have a little extra in the pot per show what would have been laid out. I guess depending on the show. But
and we know we know this for sure with Golden Boy's deal. We don't know this with Matchroom, but I'm kind of assuming it's the same with Matchroom, that they're like 10 fights a year and you get X amount of money for all those fights. That is flexible. That they can. The money is not flexible, but the amount of events is. So you can go from 10 events to 5 events per year and double your money in terms of the budget per event. Like, that is possible. I know in Golden Boy's contract that's been reported. I think it was Ring Magazine reported that that's the case. I'm assuming Matchroom's a little bit of the same too. But digressing.
Just a slight difference in budget.
Oh, of course. I mean, drastic difference.
Golden Boy's got basically, I think Coppen just said they got like $1 million per show.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Garcia wants paying really well. So what is?
But to the point where I'm saying to Ryan Garcia, like, look, you guys aren't doing shows. That money's still there. So now you have all this money sitting up in this sort of treasure chest, so to speak, this proverbial treasure chest, metaphorical one, that is just piling up money. You could have paid Ryan Garcia $1 million because you're no longer running on $1 million per budget per event. You're running on 2, 3, 4 million now because you're not doing as many events. You went from 10 events a year to now 2 or 3, maybe, if you're going to be lucky.
Yeah.
So there is money there to be had. And plus, we're seeing less fights per event.
But obviously, I think when they sort of budget and do the numbers and run the numbers, they're obviously factoring in the gate, and things like that. So I know a lot of them won't be a huge contribution to the get, to the some of the fights won't generate like multi-million-dollar gates, but so I guess it doesn't affect budgets drastically on something. But obviously, some shows without a gate, it just ain't happening,
But Rob, I mean, look at any of the Top Rank shows. Like, none of those shows would have made good gate revenues at all. Any of them. Even the Shakur fight would not have had good gate revenue. And they're still able to put those ones off and still be able to pay people.
Yeah, but you could argue that those fights wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for coronavirus, right? We wouldn't have got those cards.
Rob, come on. We know we both made the jokes about it's the usual top rank schedule. Nothing's different. Like,
Yeah,
Some of them are so bad. Like this Mariaga is the headliner.
a lot of that is
not
due-
anymore.
Well,
Not anymore.
A lot of that is due to people testing positive for COVID, injuries, different stuff happening to where fights were canceled. And again, I want to say how many fights were canceled due to COVID? 5, 6?
No, it's more than that. That kid Eddie Vasquez has had 3 in a row, and then he had one before. There's been some Herring Myers fight was postponed.
Mariaga's fights off.
So that's due to someone being over right now due to COVID. But yes, I mean, there's a lot of fights being canceled. Sorry, not to baby.
That fight was off.
Went on whatever.
And you can argue that like people missing weight, or some of these catch weights that we've been seeing. Even Mariaga fight was a catch weight. That was contracted at 128. You know, not 126, not 130. It's 128. I think it's largely due to COVID and people not being able to train properly. So when it comes back to fighter pay, there is absolutely a treasure trove of money just waiting there to be used by these promotional companies because the budgets have not shrunk. Okay. And plus, they're not doing any of these events. So their budgets per event, if they do start doing events, is tripled, quadrupled. So
I just wanted to add something. With the extreme weight cutting during a pandemic, that's destroying your immune system. Like, don't do it, right? Like, I hate catch weights and people, but like, it's not worth it for these little fights. Like, if you're like Jamel Herring, like, I think he's still testing positive after 2 weeks because he destroyed his immune system. And he's got nothing to fight it because he cuts a tremendous amount of weight. Like, it's not good for you. Just take a non-title fight at 135. I know that's not what he wants to do, but like, it's the best option right now.
He took another test, by the way, and it's negative. That whole testing system's fucked up, man.
Well, the test, there's that too, right?
I think there's like a 30% like inaccuracy rate or something. Like, so
Juan David saying UFC just sold 1.3 million pay-per-views, or it was like 875,000, I think was the final number from Dave. We're still super high.
Yeah, it's a good number. Yeah, but it's like 500,000 off what there originally was reported. But
the bigger the number is, usually the bigger the drop off is. Like, remember the first Canelo Triple G fight was like 1.8, 1.9 million, and then it was like 1.3 or 2 million. I think it was finally reported at. Like, it was like a 700,000 pay-per-view buy drop off.
Shit, did anyone actually watch Frank Warren's card then? I don't know.
It was not in the US, was it? I couldn't find it.
No, it was. Dude, did you see the numbers for that? Gary, did you see the numbers for that Frank Warren card in the UK?
No.
It was 7,000 people watching it average. 7,000.
It peaked at 23. The secondary numbers have come in. Peaked at 23K.
But the peaks don't matter. It's always the average, man.
Yeah, that was 7.3 thousand.
So how many people in the critical 18 to 54 demographic watched it?
2.
4,000? 2,000?
2.
I don't even know what to say.
By the way, my kid loves your laugh.
There's more people that
Liam loves your laugh, so just keep doing that. He's probably watching, laughing.
Gary's laugh is amazing. It really is.
It's good,
there's more people watching an infomercial on whatever channel at 2:00 in the morning watching that fight.
Did you see ESPN played, I think, randomly an Eagles concert, and it averaged 750,000 views?
Eagles are good. You know we're
I know, right? It had a lead in from the hot dog eating contest, which peaked at 1.4 million. Your country is fucking.
You know where Don Henley is from?
Texas. I've seen the Eagles like 3 or 4 times in concert too.
But can we just get our head around that? Actually, more people watched a hot dog eating contest than fuck it. Your country's fucked up, man.
Than most sports.
Than any sport. It done more than the pay-per-view. It's fucking the most hyped up main event I've seen in ages that doesn't involve Conor McGregor. But there's some fucking guys ramming hot dogs down his face, and the whole country tunes in.
70 of them, right? He almost 70. And I usually watch that, but like I totally forgot it was even 4th of July this year. Like, it just like
tangent Gary, I love it.
I like how Gary like fully admits like, oh, I usually watch that. It's like great pastime.
Apparently it's down on numbers from last year.
Because I didn't even realize it was 4th of July.
It like peaked at 1.7 the year before. This shit's mental. You guys are fucked up.
It's like the Kentucky Derby. Like they have a pregame. You just sit there and you get ready for your hot dog eating contest. You know, like it's.
I will never understand horse racing, but that's another.
By the way, one of my other reasonings for this going ahead is the DAZN global launch is still looking to be around the Canelo fight, which I think they want in September.
So let's bring it back to that briefly before we jump off of it, because Dave, I think I didn't finish his comment saying the UFC sold 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. I think Dave Most reported that was 875,000. Canelo can do at least 800,000 pay-per-view buys versus Billy Joe Saunders. Obviously it's DAZN, and who knows if they're going to do pay-per-view, though Eddie Hearn, I feel like, keeps like begging them to do pay-per-view, it seems like, right?
He was like, I never said it was dying. I never said pay-per-view was dying. It was just the price point.
Yo, man, Eddie's flip-flops are just hilarious, man. He has contradicted himself so many times. I want somebody to do a mashup of all the times he's contradicted himself, and then do like a Bob Arum one. Do like all of like the big ones, Frank Warren, Oscar, like do all of the biggies. Tim Smith, I guess, for PBC.
But it's just
limited footage.
It's just like a car salesman. Like I was a stockbroker for years. Like you just say things like you don't actually mean them. You just say it because it sounds good at that particular time. I don't think anyone believes that any promoter is speaking from a place of truth. Like,
did you really just say that, Gary? Have you not been on like Boxing Twitter or like our comments? There are tons of people that like feverishly believe everything Eddie Hearn says. Like I have like genuinely like really good friends that think like Eddie Hearn is a genuinely good dude, and it's like, look, man, like you can think that, but like he's just a scummy promoter. Like they all are. Like that's okay. But if people are like, no, like Eddie really has like his best, like his best interest out for like all of his fighters. Like he cares about them, and it's like, okay, man. Like,
look, a boxing promoter is a sweaty, slimy scumbag by nature, and Eddie is best in breed. So think about that.
Eddie is really good at it. He's born into it. He's born into the darkness, molded by it.
He's the best.
By the way, speaking of that, by the way, speaking of that line too, me and my kid watched 2 out of the 3 Batman movies with Christian Bale, and then Karate Kid. Oh, it was a great time yesterday.
What, the original Karate Kid or the rubbish one?
Dude, come on, man. Like only the original.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't count the remake with Jackie Chan and Will Smith. Or not Will Smith, Jaden Smith. Because Jaden Smith looks like he's like 4 years old in that movie.
An extremely large Karate Kid. The gigantic kid.
The crane.
Have a beard?
The crane is an illegal move, not my champion. I don't know. I saw a meme going around, and like there's a debate amongst if that's an illegal move.
You are not a member.
Not my chip.
You are not a member of the All Valley Commission, Gary. I don't think you're in position to talk about the karate rules.
And I don't even
1984.
Is that even a big deal? Like he wasn't all world. He wasn't even all state. He was all Valley, like the Fernando Valley. Like is that is that?
Look, I'll be honest. I know.
Is that a big deal?
All right, he beat Johnny. That's it.
In the San Fernando Valley tournament. Like
he survived the leg sweep. Okay, who does that? No one does that.
Finish him. Oh,
but Matt, is that
do you know what? I hated that fucking kid behind who was the horrible sensei? What was his name?
Norris
from the Cobra Kai. The Cobra Kai's main dude, the sensei.
I don't know if that's his name.
There's the kid in the background. Yeah, get him a body bag. Yeah, I just wanted if I would have
Johnny.
I wish I wanted to fight that kid when I was young. I wanted to beat him.
Do you know that he like died from he died like tragically somehow? I forget. Like
you can try and make me feel bad, but at that moment in time, I wanted to destroy him.
That doesn't change the fact. I mean, that's said that he died tragically, but he does not act like he was some highfalutin person.
I nearly said good, but I remembered it's actually a person. So
let's be honest. Johnny is the hero of the movie, and Daniel LaRusso is the bad guy. Like that's just how it is.
You mean Ryan Garcia? I'm always every time he tweets now, I'm hitting him with the Daniel LaRusso gif.
Is that a big deal? Would you brag about that, Matt? That's your region of the country. If you won the San Fernando Valley tournament. I mean, how many people can really be into karate under 17?
Gary, stop! I can't even picture Matt doing karate.
It just seems like, okay, it's good. Like, good job.
Wait. I totally did karate as a kid. Shut the fuck up, Rob.
I can't picture you leaving the house. I can't picture you anywhere other than that sofa, that couch. That's honest facts. I just can't.
Just like the casting couch.
I can't. I just can't.
Like, I feel like it's winning counties. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like,
Gary,
can you win
you're so upset about the standard of competition in the All Valley.
I just feel like it's good. Like,
for the record, most of the strikes in the Karate Kid movie are illegal that they do in the final tournament. And also, no, the Valley Championship does not matter. I don't think it's real, to be honest, Gary. When I did karate, I think I only ended up doing like one tournament, and I fucking hated it. It was miserable. So I don't remember that. I was like 6 years old. I literally watched the Karate Kid. I was like, I want to do that, and my mom threw me in karate class, I guess, at the local dojo.
Just the fact you said dojo made me laugh.
I had to play soccer because of my mom.
Gary. First off, refresh yourself, and secondly, make sure you're on Ethernet because
you're looking like the big guy out the Goonies right now.
Yeah, let's go. Man. You look pixelated.
Hey, you guys. Chocolate.
I think we might watch that movie soon.
The Goonies.
Yeah, because
that is a great movie.
But it is one of those movies. Like, it is scary. Like, it is like we watched the original
One-Eyed Willie, and then the bones like organ. They have to play that high. Yeah.
And like we watched Willy Wonka, like the original, obviously with I was gonna say Oscar Wilde, but that's like the author. Right? That's the famous author.
Gene Wilder.
Dude, one of the days, man.
Seen the Weevil, hear the Weevil. Now there's
he was like terrified of that movie, and I can understand. Like, Willy Wonka is a scary fucking movie.
Straight up, my uncle, he married a woman that I reluctantly had to call Auntie, but she looked like Mrs. Fratelli out of the Goonies.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
Like I'm not even joking. Like, body double, face double, stubble double, everything.
Gary, hi man, you're back.
Good. We want to talk boxing now, or what do we want to do?
We were talking Goonies, but we can move on to boxing, I guess.
I just remember that one guy was like, they don't start talking boxing till the 18-minute mark or something like that. So, remember that guy?
By the way, Santiago with the super chat saying there's only one Karate Kid. I will push back on this. The first few sequels aren't bad.
No. If it ain't Daniel LaRusso, I ain't watching it.
No. It's the ones with Daniel LaRusso, the sequels with Daniel LaRusso. When they go back to Japan.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Those like the original trilogy, like that's okay.
Yeah, that girl that did it, no thanks.
Well, Hilary Swank, I mean, Academy Award-winning actress, but the movie was
I don't care. She ain't no Karate Kid.
The movie just made no sense thematically and plot-wise.
She didn't get an Academy Award for that.
And was it even a Valley tournament then? I don't think so.
No.
I
like the second one.
Jaden Smith one was bad because he looked like he was 6 years old, and like that it was weird. It looked like little kids beating up each other.
And it took too long putting his jacket on the floor, picking it up, putting it up. That just took too long to learn.
Come on, Jackie.
Daniel actually fixed up Miyagi's house. He just got it looking shit hot, and then
he actually built material good things for Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. He just made him pick his jacket up.
Moving on. Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev could take place on a boat, or a castle, or a Croatian
in a castle far away. That's the second one, right? That's his Karate Kid 2.
Or a Croatian Colosseum.
I tried to make Karate Kid back then.
Guys, this fight's not happening either, right? Like, can we just say that
it'll happen? It will happen in November, 100%.
I don't think it's happening. And also, PSK saying Gremlins and Land Before Time were great films when I was young. Yes, they are. And Land Before Time still holds up.
Oh.
The first one, not the sequel. What?
I'd sooner. I'm more like Labyrinth, David Bowie, legend.
That's a great movie too, but like
I can't. No, Land Before Time. No, it's not for me. What was the first one he said?
Gremlins. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
sure. I mean, he blows up one in the microwave. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Back to Joshua fighting on a boat or a castle or a coliseum. Again, like it's either Eddie Hearn just bullshitting or like it's just.
Did you read the article? Did you read the article?
Yes, I did. I read all the articles.
So it's probably the O2, right?
See, here's the thing. It 100% depends on that second wave happening and if they can have people in attendance. I truly believe that. Like
we've got Boris Johnson, man. What are you talking about?
Eddie will make sure he can rip off someone at this event for a ticket. Like he will try his damnedest. Like if it's 1,000 rich ass motherfuckers in a castle, he'll do it. If it's 20 billionaires on a yacht, he'll do it. So I do understand your sentiment, Rob, of like, yo, it's Eddie. This is the big fight. They're gonna find a way to make this happen. There's enough money on the table to make it happen. I get that. But if you have to go to these lengths now to like try to get a fight in order, like it's just not happening, in my opinion. And maybe it is just the O2 and they just fit like 1,000 people in there in November or like 2,000 or 3,000 or however many they space it out and they call it good and Boris Johnson writes it off like nothing happened and people die and no one cares. That could happen. But
Mr. shaking hands with everybody.
It's just so hard right now to tell, especially when all the news with the big fights does seem like they're just giant question marks. Like we're waiting on these fights to not be actually announced. Gary, Rob, I don't know who wants to jump in and talk about this.
When I said it happened, I'm not saying it happens on a boat. Let me just get that clear. All right. I'm saying the fight will happen and it will probably be in a more regular setting. Maybe like downtown Tulsa or something like that.
Plantation's not good enough?
Don't just take Ludabellas and say that. It's ridiculous things to say. Plantation. Fuck out of there.
The vineyard?
Huh?
The vineyard?
Okay.
That's acceptable. No, what are you talking about? That's acceptable.
Have you not?
It doesn't imply they're drunk.
It's not a vineyard growing in fucking Essex. What are you talking about? Okay. But yeah, I'm thinking O2 or the Royal Albert Hall, something like that, with a limited crowd. If there's any chance of selling tickets, this fight is happening. Eddie Hearn is selling tickets to a Joshua fight. They might be premium priced, crazy price, exclusive event, but this fight happens in November, I think.
We got to get rid of this fight. I mean, just either do it tomorrow in an empty gym with 3 judges and a referee and someone to record the results, and that's it. And let's just move on from this thing. Really. Like, Eddie, just take the loss, you and the zone, and just whoever has to pay these guys, the bare bones minimum, just get this fight over with.
I mean, we could have it like in Biloxi or like Mulvane or like Tulsa, as like the big ad said, Tulsa. That's how I read to me from. It's like the old timey like Sunday.
Tulsa.
If those that don't know what I'm talking about, the Madison put out an ad or promo, I should say, more a promo. That I will say this, like credit to them. They made Tulsa, Oklahoma look like somewhat like a respectable city. So shout out to Matchroom's people.
That is excellent. I don't even think that's Tulsa in the video. Like, I think it's some other city. Like,
I was the same thing. And it's for the Julio Cesar Martinez fight where they're fighting in the middle of a street.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are they doing, man?
I think it's fine. I don't know what you just hate everything.
It's weird. It's weird. Like, come on, let's just.
There's been fights outside on the street before.
On the street?
A lot of fights, but like not like ones that are professional that you can.
I didn't necessarily mean with gloves on and and bottles were allowed. No, I mean, but there hasn't. There's been like out in parking lots and stuff in Vegas and shit. Sugar Ray Leonard fought outside of the fucking garden, didn't he? No, the MGM, wasn't it? Out in the
parking lot?
In the actual garden, the MGM garden arena.
Like, I will say this: I have definitely seen like regional fights in some weird locales, parking fights. I mean,
in different regions.
Parking lots is one of them. I will say that.
Did you see Germany this week? It was a ring and it had cars parked
The
around
cars
it.
parked around it. Yes. Like I will admit, like that's not a bad idea. What, Rob? Why are you looking at me funny? I love.
This is exactly.
Okay,
This is why people
hold
think
on,
what they
hold
do
on,
about you.
As someone that loves drive-in movie theaters, because I love drive-in movie theaters,
Do you?
drive-in boxing,
Do
I
you?
would love. Yes, I love drive-in movie theaters.
This is why people think what they do.
What
'Cause
year were
you've
you
gone
born?
from hating on Matchrooms, boat ideas, and downtown Tulsa,
I like the
some
castle.
dirty
the castle.
grey car park in Germany, and you're like, I love it. It looks amazing. Like, fuck.
Maybe not that exact setup because it literally looked like there was like 5 cars and like a giant ass.
It also looked like 1975. Like the cars were shite. I don't know what it was.
Germany.
They were terrible cars, considering it's Germany.
No, but Gary, don't hate on me for liking drive-in movie theaters. They're amazing. They're a vibe. Like, what are you talking about?
No,
they're great for dates.
No, driving movie theaters. I'm all right. You're good. But it's when you said it's a great idea. It looked great about the fucking boxing with cars.
I wouldn't mind it. Like, if you're a regional promoter right now, right? Like, not anyone with the TV, right? You're just somebody that like works at like a state or a city. You know, you're only working in a specific area. I would try that. I would 100% try that. Would it work? I don't know, but it's something that I would experiment with as a local regional promoter, a club level show, right? That's what I would do. Because otherwise, if you're a club level show, you can't go into a castle or a yacht. That doesn't happen. JumpTube saying, how do they do the audio in these drive-ins? It's radio. So they give you a radio station to go to, and you just put on your radio station. So like 89.7, you put on 89.7. That's how you do it. And you.
What year were you?
Hold on. The best part is you bring your own food, super easy. You can bring your own drinks, some good weed. Like you can bring all that shit, and like no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't cost a fortune.
As much, because I mean,
if you go to the movies here, Matt, holy shit, get a bank loan.
It's like $60, right? Like it's
huge amounts of money. You could get like the movie's like £5, but you want popcorn and stuff.
Oh, you're lucky. It's like
no, it's probably more than it's probably more than that. I'm just exaggerating, but if you want confectionaries and popcorn and a drink with it, yeah, you might look in your wallet and think, oh, God damn.
And the cool thing is, if you have like a pickup truck. I don't know if that's a term in the UK that you understand, pickup truck. I don't think you guys have those that much, but
yeah, they haven't got moon roofs or anything, but
yeah. But you can like back it up and like you can have like blankets and pillows and like lay in the pickup truck and like watch the movie. It's cool. It's a vibe. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I was back to Joshua Pulev because we got off on a tangent. I think a boat fight makes no sense. Castle fights, I'm cool with, and Coliseum fights, I'm cool with. I'll be honest.
No, a boat fight's fine. You can all pull up in your helicopters, hover around, watch the fight. It's a cool vibe.
Cool.
Get a blanket. Ask the pilot to,
turn the radio station to the right station.
Yeah, cool.
But again, I don't think this fight happens this year. I don't think any of these fights happen this year. These big ones.
Castles will be difficult because of the moat and soldiers at the top tipping hot tar down on you.
So you don't think there'll be any big fights this year, Matt?
No. Define big though. Like let's define big for a second. Like
Canelo, a pay-per-view worthy fight or a Canelo fight. Canelo versus anyone is a big fight, and a pay-per-view worthy.
No, Gary, man, your connection's so bad. I don't know what it is.
Look.
I think in the UK you can see like the Bill White fight, right? Should I cut him off? So like,
get rid of it. I can't look at that.
Yeah, just for your own sake, Gary.
I'm picturing now John Cleese with a, from the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I know who John Cleese is. Yes.
No, I'm just saying from the Holy Grail on the top of the castle.
Dude, it was so funny. So I forget what I mentioned, but I was talking to my kid about like some like cartoon movie. I forget what movie it was. And I was like, oh, it has knights and dragons, like it's cool. And he was like, and a killer bunny? I go, Rob, come on. Rob, I go, killer bunny. I'm like, that's way too specific. I'm like, have you seen Monty Python? And he's like, maybe. I'm like, wait.
Wait.
I'm like, did you see like an old movie with real people, not cartoon?
Clapping coconuts together.
And I said that, like clapping coconuts together as horses, and there was a killer bunny that killed people. And he's like, maybe. I'm like, was it really bloody? He's like, yeah. I'm like, where did you watch this movie? I was like, at Papa's house, at his grandpa's house.
Yeah.
I'm like, did your grandpa realize what he put on? And he goes, you turn it off halfway through. I'm like, oh, that probably makes sense.
Damn, that's good. Get him in early. I like it.
I almost put it on for him too. I was like, fuck it. I'll put it on.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. But again, there's some bloody scenes. I'll wait till he's like 7 or 8. That's a good age for that movie.
Yeah.
When they can understand a little bit more of the humor.
Garrett's come back and he's froze again.
No way.
He sat back. Oh no, there he is.
Gary, this is rough.
No, I'm here. What's happening is like my computer is just switching from Wi-Fi to Ethernet. Wi-Fi to Ethernet. I'm not touching anything. I don't know why that is.
I can't help you. Shout out to Santiago with the super chat saying if they did some boxing events with a drive-in movie theater layout, I'm there. Suck it, Rob. I went to watch Infinity War at 1 with the date. Her choice too. Smart. Lord Jacob with a super chat. Shout out to Lord Jacob, longtime listener, saying entanglement. I know I'm probably the only person on the panel that gets that joke.
Will Smith and all that stuff.
Yeah, did you watch any of that?
No, but I get it. I sort of know what's happening. Kind of.
You should watch the clips, man. They are fucking wild.
You need to watch Believe in Bruce. He's like a body language expert, and he tells you who's lying, who's talking shit, and
the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you Believe in Bruce. He's done like a load of boxing videos, like with Joshua ones, in gloves are off kind of thing. He breaks it down and like stuff like that. Tells you who's lying. And
I don't believe a lot of those like body language stuff, but I'll check it out. It's always fun to check out that.
Yeah. He done Prince Andrew. Oh dear, not good.
PSK is telling you to restart your PC, Gary. Damn, Gary.
Send it him via semaphore or something.
Smoke signal, man.
Jesus.
What the natives did. Let's move on. Rob.
Kick him out.
Oh, yeah.
He's bugging me out.
He's bugging me out. Hey, Rob, it's me and you again. Just us.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo.
Talk about the UK hour.
Let's RIP.
I found the intro the other day. I was like,
oh, did you?
Yeah. With the old...
I still have all that stuff.
Yeah.
I still have like overlays and stuff because like I keep that all in a folder. Now
you still got that video intro that I made that we rarely ever played.
Dude, so StreamYard for a period of time allowed video overlays.
Oh.
So they don't do it right now. I think that because something happened.
You probably have to do like premium or something.
No, we have premium. I pay for it.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's why we don't get the stupid duck logo.
Make it do other things.
Like what?
I don't know.
Well, I think they took away that feature because they were having issues with it because I can't do it right now. But once they figure that out, then fuck yeah, that would just be the intro we put on like the overlay, and it's just that intro. That's what I'm thinking we're gonna do eventually.
Okay,
that'd be cool.
It wasn't all just wasted time.
No, and plus I'm gonna get back on like clipping up the shows.
That was another Eagles reference. That was good.
Okay, Gary baseball, you with the Eagles. I will say that I am going to get back into clipping the show, guys, more often. Just I got out of it. It's been a weird time for me with COVID and people that I know dying and stuff. So it's just been a odd time mentally for me. I've honestly checked out in a lot of ways. I think Rob, you've noticed it. I think
Yeah.
I noticed it to a degree. I apologize, but like that's just
half of the topics as well. I'm like, we were going to do a show at the start of the week.
This fight may or may not happen, guys, with this rumor. Like that's like a lot of it, and it's just I don't want to over indulge you guys, listeners, with that stupid news. To be honest,
it was like today. You were like, "Well, what's the title? What's the topics?" I'm like, Joshua fighting on a boat. It's like, what the coronavirus topics are crazy. Canelo in Alcatraz or Mount Rushmore.
If you had talked to us in like January about like all this happening, we would be like, no way.
Did you see that video? No, it's like a fucking, I don't know what bird it was. It was obviously near the coast, and it had a fucking shark in its mouth.
Yeah.
That was like a pterodactyl, right? What was that?
It
It
must.
was freaking big to have a shark in its mouth, just flying off with a shark. I'm like,
It did look.
but 2020, I'm out.
It did look a little bit funky, but the thing is, I don't know where that's at. That would change what it is to me, like what I could guess it is, because it didn't look like an eagle, didn't look like a hawk, didn't look like a falcon. Those are the big birds that I have right here.
It was more like a stork, right? It was like
looked like a vulture, motherfucker. It was, or like a condor, like an ugly ass condor, maybe. It was weird.
Gary, what bird was it?
The bird that picked up the shark out of the water in that viral video like 2 weeks ago. What kind of bird was that?
Did you see the video?
What am I, a zoologist? I have no idea what kind of bird it was.
Did you see the video though?
I did see the video.
Okay.
If it played baseball, you'd be able to tell us its batting average. Come on.
Anyways, guys,
Is there more boxing topics?
Yeah, there is.
We've gone so off tangent so many times on here. I don't know if anyone.
I'll be honest, guys. This is one of our best shows yet.
It is really.
I want to let everyone know this right now.
Condor? Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Condor.
I'm thinking it might be a condor.
It was freaking huge.
Condors are big. I've seen a lot of condors like out in the wild. They're scary motherfuckers. They're nasty.
I bet you fired your gun at it.
No, dude, they're endangered fucking birds, man.
Yeah, but if you keep shooting other things, they'll be endangered.
That's literally not how it works.
Just don't do it.
They're scavengers, so that's why it can't be a condor and it can't be a vulture. Like, never mind. Moving off of that because that's gonna bug me now. What the fucking bird that was? Tyson Fury and doping allegations. Remember those guys? Remember that farmer that said that he was intimidated and got bribed or something? I forgot what the initial.
No, he was paid to say. Allegedly, he said he was paid to say that he provided
the boar meat,
wild boar, which ended up having high levels of cocaine or something. I don't know.
No, it wasn't cocaine. It was the Nanderon, right? The stands and all. It was the steroid stuff. It was the good shit. It wasn't the cocaine. The farmer's name is Martin Carefoot.
Carefoot, yeah.
And he said, "I've had nothing but problems right from the beginning of this, and I don't want to get involved." End quote. He denied being intimidated or paid to change the story. Writes Michael Benson. Articles from the Times Sport. Also, just to add to this, I see a lot of people adding to this in terms of like narrative in the boxing career field. Daniel Kinahan, obviously the alleged cartel leader who's connected to 18 murders, all that fun stuff, $1 billion empire of drugs and murder. His cartel is on the brink of collapse as the Gardaí are leading a worldwide police operation, writes The Independent. We knew that this was going to happen, I think, for a few days or a week now, that the Gardaí were going to really pressure them. They've got international agencies and big national agencies like the FBI and stuff like that to get involved. I'm not saying these two are connected, but I've seen a lot of people connect the two. I just wanted to present these two topics. I don't think Kinahan would be out there trying to kill or bribe a local random farmer when his drug empire is literally collapsing in front of him. That's just my 2 cents into it. But hey, I mean, who knows? Gary, Rob, your thoughts on the PD farmer Tyson Fury story and the Kinahan cartel on the brink of collapse?
Couple of things here, right? Like, if Tyson Fury paid this farmer off to keep his mouth shut and just go along with the story, I'd be pissed right now if I was Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I paid you the money. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's like when Eric Dickerson, the running back, famous running back, was given a car by Texas A&M to go play at Texas A&M. He took the car, and then SMU came with the cash. It was like, I'm going to take the cash. You're going to give the car back? No, I'm not going to give the car back, right? Like, what are you going to do? Complain that I didn't live up to my end of the bribe? No, I'm going to take the car, and I'm going to go to SMU and take the cash, right? Like, this farmer should just keep his mouth shut and take the money. As far as Kinahan, do you really buy that this guy's on the edge of collapse? Like, that seems hard for me to believe. Like, these are professional criminals. Like, they'll just make their money in some other way. It's not like they're morally bound to do business on the up and up.
In terms of like him like potentially being arrested and that it going that route,
Okay,
absolutely. We know that key members of the cartel, key high-ranking members, key lieutenants of Kinahan have already been arrested and are in court now. So it would not be surprising if Kinahan as well will be arrested soon. We know that they've been sending overtures, so to speak, to the UAE to get him extradited. So I'm not going to be surprised at all. I will say this though: we do at the same time as all this happening, we don't know this for sure yet. And I've asked around, and I haven't got a real confirmation on that this is the case. But I do want to present this as a possible story, a possible narrative that we have to pay attention to. Daniel Kinahan also manages high-ranking MMA UFC fighter Darren Till. We know that the UFC has 5 events in the UAE right now that are scheduled. One of them is featuring Darren Till in a main event. I do not know if Kinahan has been a key member in terms of the negotiations with the UAE and the UFC on this whole Fight Island situation, in terms of he is now a key figure and making a lot of money, which means that the UAE might not want to extradite him in the middle of them making money off of him. That's a reality that we may have to address at some point, but we don't know for sure yet. Back to your point, Gary, I do believe within the next 6 months, he's going to be behind bars. I'm going to go on that ledge.
well, he'll be arrested within 6 months, right? And
Yes.
how that trial plays out.
Yes, that 2 or 3 year process that's probably going to be how I don't know, but I 100% think that he's going to be arrested.
But in Ireland,
I think he's going to be extradited at one point. I think the UAE is going to kick him out, and you're going to have Interpol and everyone come in and get him.
how does bail work over there? Will he be able to make bail? And if so, will he make bail?
In Ireland?
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
I don't know how it works either. Yeah.
That any sort of assumption on that would be probably a little bit too far, especially since like he may not be even allowed bail if there is a bail system that they have over there. Like we just know about Ghislaine Maxwell, right? She doesn't have bail. She has to stay.
Did they? Because they were considering giving it. They decided not to. Like, God.
The last thing I saw, they denied her bail.
Okay, good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we need her in one spot so the assassins can find her faster. Moving on, guys. Any other thoughts on Tyson Fury, the Farmer situation, which I keep wanting to accidentally say Tevin Farmer situation? I don't know why. Or the Daniel Kinahan situation. Rob, you good?
Yeah, I think when this first came out, it was never going to become anything.
I agree too.
Yeah.
I mean, UK almost went bankrupt dealing with Tyson Fury the first time. They're not going to do it again.
No, exactly.
Moving on, Vasiliy, Lomachenko, and Teofimo Lopez haven't received offers to fight, writes Mike Coppinger. First paragraph of the article. Vasiliy Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez have been circling each other for months, but there's still no deal for the fight. And further, no side has received an offer from Top Rank, the company that promotes both boxers. Sources tell The Athletic. Guys, thoughts on this huge fight that is allegedly going to happen in October? We keep hearing Ryder Stadium and stuff like that. No offers have been sent. 0. No offers.
Just like a Canelo fight, this ain't happening. And that's a shame because I was really, really into this fight.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the best fights you can make in boxing right now, in my opinion. It's a great generational shift. If Lopez wins, it's a great fight for the division in terms of relevancy and hierarchy. And plus, it's just a fun fight on paper. Like, it would probably produce a lot of exciting, violent action. And we're not going to get it. I will add that Mike Coppinger has been reporting that it will be pay-per-view when it does happen. And that may or may not be a cause. And this not like there be no offers being sent yet because it being pay-per-view and them not wanting to sort of pressure pay-per-view in this market.
I feel like that should be a fight that's in the Garden or in California, like the Staples Center. Like it doesn't. It should have a natural home in one of those markets. And like I mean, it's okay. I think it could be a huge changing of the guard fight. It could be a huge event, right? If Teofimo wins. So maybe it's best if we don't rush it and wait for everything to go back to normal. I mean, Teofimo's 22 years old, 23 years old. It's okay. I mean, he can wait it out a little bit.
Loma, maybe not.
But that's just better for Teofimo, waiting for him to get old.
Rob?
Teofimo's about to burst at the seams. He's like 160 pounds right now. I think whatever happens, this is both guys' last fight at 135. Loma's been saying he'll go back down, and Teofimo will be moving straight up. So I think the longer this takes, the less chance of it coming off, I think, personally.
A little bit like Warrington, Shakur Stevenson to a degree. Like that fight has something just like points now where like they're not going to be fighting each other.
Yeah, kind of. Shut up, Conlon, getting his WBO shot anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right, because it's going to be Navarrete versus who for that vacant belt?
Conlon, I think. Likely to be Conlon.
I thought they announced it was Navarrete versus somebody else for the vacant. And was I wrong? Did I just misread it? That's possible.
Yeah.
Navarrete is ducking that Brandon Figueroa smoke.
Oh my god.
Shakur duck Navarrete. What are you talking about?
Michael Collins is going to get his face ripped off by Navarrete. Like, it's not even going to be close.
Navarrete versus Loma at 130. Who you got?
Loma.
It's too small, right? It'd be 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't think, like, Navarrete is, like, the type of guy to beat Loma, per se. Like, he's a little bit of an unskilled swarmer. Like he's going to be very violent. He's going to beat you up. But if you're super skilled and talented, you can outbox him.
Yeah, I think if you're bigger than Loma at like lightweight, that you could probably maul him because he's too small for that weight class.
Who did they announce for? It's Cool Boy Steph, right? Stephen Fulton and somebody fighting for Navarrete's old belt.
Angelo Leo. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight, right? Yeah.
I like that fight a lot.
Yeah. So this whole WBO shake-up is pretty cool.
And that fight, we didn't even report on that. That's shame on us. But that fight's going to be at like the Mohegan Sun, right? And like their own bubble, so to speak. That's going to be Viacom's bubble. So it's going to have like Showtime events, allegedly a lot of the maybe Bellator events too. All the Viacom properties sort of have their sporting events there. So it's going to be interesting to see that pulled off, And
yeah,
speaking of, fights being pulled off, maybe in that venue and maybe on Showtime as well. Jamal Charlo, Sergey Derevchenko is being close to being finalized for a fall title fight. This might be one of the bigger fights we see this year. Like it's gonna be this, or like we were close to like Progress Hooker. Like it's gonna be like those types of fights that are gonna be the good fights we see this year, in my opinion. No date, no venue, no network has been talked about, or at least released with this fight, but they say it's close to being finalized, whatever that means.
Charlo told he said, I don't know where you're getting your information, but he's just a name on our radar as far as opponent. But I've heard Ronnie Shields basically say they're fighting Derevchenko next. We've heard, so I don't know whether Charlo was just trying to play stuff down, and and I guess anything can change at any moment, and it might not come off for whatever reason. But I think we can safely say this fight's getting made.
Boy, that's a fun fight. I'm really into that fight. I'm going to pick Charlo, but that's such a fun offensive fight with Charlo, the pure boxer puncher, and then Derevchenko, the pressure fighter. Like this is going to be a good fight.
I saw some sort of touted odds, like pre sort of lines makers put together some odds, and they had Derevchenko just a plus 120 and Charlo a minus 137 or something like that. Real close pick and fight, really.
And this
is Charlo's best opponent at 160, right?
And you're gonna take Derevchenko because Charlo's from Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, are you really gonna take Derevchenko?
For shits and giggles, yeah. Oh, shout out! Did you see some boxing article put out? They said the Russians middleweight come, and he was like, "Come on, be professional. I'm not Russian."
Yeah, but not to be fair, but like maybe to throw more shade. Like, what was that website even? Like, it was
I don't know. Shit.
You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those like blog websites. Like, us two degree. Like, who the fuck are we? Like, we're no one. They were no one.
What are you talking about?
We're big time.
My research totally blew Glovegate 1 out of water. I'm waiting on a reply from Nevada State at the moment to get the whole, Glovegate 2 that dented Wilder's head. I'm trying to.
In the autopsy, right?
Yeah, the autopsy. Dispel this myth that loaded gloves were used or no padding.
I think Charlo is going to win, and actually maybe even win big here, because I don't think Derevyanchenko is the style to beat Charlo. Charlo struggles with the good boxers, guys that can move, guys that can really stick with the jab.
I can see Derevyanchenko getting smacked with an uppercut big time.
Yeah, I just see him.
It's going to be there all day. There all day for Charlo to land that uppercut, I think.
Yeah, I think Charlo's going to kind of mess up Derevyanchenko in a way. Similar to like how not one-for-one analog, but how like Canelo Derevyanchenko was like, yeah, like that's a good fight, but Derevyanchenko is not going to win that. Like that's a fight to be entertaining as long as it lasts. Similar. Charlo is just like the wrong style for Derevyanchenko, 100%. I think Andrade would give Charlo leaps and leaps of more issues than Derevyanchenko.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head, has Jamal been in with a high level pressure fighter before? I don't think so, right?
What would you define as high level pressure fighter? Let me go into
not Dennis Hogan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like his 154 run more than
I'm
anything.
trying to think. Yeah.
What? Charlo's 154 run?
Was he ever in with a high skilled pressure fighter? And I don't mean Dennis Hogan.
Would we define Derevyanchenko as a high skilled pressure fighter though?
I think so. I mean, I like Derevyanchenko. I think he's good. I don't think he's going to win this fight. I think he loses to those guys, but I would say so. I think he's pretty good.
He's going to be. Someone tweeted that he is going to be the middleweight Sean Porter. Gives everyone a rough night, but always loses to like the good guys.
Derevyanchenko?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that. Maybe more like the Danny Garcia of the group. Like I think Charlo is more the Sean Porter, and he just hasn't done that yet. Like if Charlo had the run and he was like he fought Jacobs, Canelo, Triple G, and Derevyanchenko, he would beat Derevyanchenko but lose to those top three guys, in my opinion, most of the time.
Yeah.
Charlo cleans out the division.
I think Charlo struggles with Granados anyway.
Granados.
It's a 140 pounder, 147 pounder.
Exactly. No, this is like because obviously where was Trout was a bit old, right? It wasn't peak Trout, right?
Still getting big wins, man. Suing the WBO.
No, but that wasn't prime Trout, right?
Yeah, but this court case is prime Trout. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And Julian Williams is the best fight, right? Is his biggest win? Biggest win?
Yeah. I would say Austin Trout's probably the second biggest win.
Okay. But this will be his biggest win at middleweight.
Yeah.
Because when did he move up? That was Highland, right? The dude on like
the one-legged Argentinian, yeah.
Yeah, had a dodgy wheel. But yeah. Who's been his best at 160 till now?
Korobov, but that was a terrible performance. Like that's the best name.
Oh yeah, that was a bit contentious, right? Some people had Korobov winning, right?
It was real close. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got Hugo Centeno. That was at 60 or 54. That was at 60.
60, I think. Yeah.
And Centeno's a top 25 guy.
20. Yeah. I mean,
by the way, speaking of top whatevers, I was DM'd someone saying I'm still what was it? I can't remember the wording, but getting over the fact that you had Takam as a top 15 heavyweight on the last show.
Me?
I think you two had a consensus that he was top 15 or something. I don't know.
No, Gary said that.
Who?
I didn't say that.
The Takam is top 15 heavyweight.
I was gonna push that, but I let it slide because, like, for the sake of showtime, and like we have to, like,
because I asked the person who messaged me. They said, "Where is he in yours?" And they're like 50, 40, 50, maybe.
You know, he's not, that's fucking more ridiculous than saying he's top 15. Saying that Takam is maybe top 40 is more ridiculous than saying that he's maybe top 15 because he's a top 20 guy. Because Cesaro's in the top 15. And like those guys are like almost neck and neck, but one has a win over the other.
No.
I mean, Takam was beating Trezore's ass for 9.5 rounds.
He rope-a-doped him and then took him out.
But here's the point. If Trezor is in the top 15, then Takam's not too far behind.
So why is that so crazy? Say okay, you want to say 20 instead of 15? Fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But like 15 to 20 is fine. Like Takama's not bad.
30?
No, Rob, I'm gonna make you name 30 heavyweights right now.
Don't, please don't.
Oh, don't.
Please don't.
Hey, look, hey, we have some more. We have
Dave Allen.
Rob, I'm gonna give you some time because we have only 2 more topics left, and I haven't seen you in a while. No, I haven't seen you in a while. Go on BoxRec right now and name me 30 heavyweights. Go on the BoxRec.
The beat Takam.
You better not say Joe Joyce.
Yeah. Name me 30 heavyweights you think that can beat him.
Okay, easy.
This is gonna get filthy. This is gonna get so nasty on this list. Rob's gonna be trolling us the whole time.
I control
as Rob is getting this in order. We're gonna present the next topic. Jeff Horn, Tim Tszyu, may be actually the biggest fight we see in terms of having a crowd this year, as they plan to have a full attendance fight with 16,000 people in Australia in Townsville, because Australia has handled COVID quite well, and they allege that they can handle this. So, guys, Jeff Horn, Tim Tszyu, I know they had a press conference, I think a few days ago. It seems to be happening. It seems to be happening in front of a full crowd. Gary, your thoughts?
It's a good fight. I mean, kind of. It's okay. I'll watch it. I'm a little bit into it. I mean, I like to see Tim Tszyu against a pretty good fighter, which Jeff Horn is. Yeah, it's fine. I'm glad they're doing it. Like I said, there's not a real COVID problem in Australia, so they want to do it in front of fans, and that's fine. And the fight's not bad. It's not a bad fight.
No, it's not a bad fight at all. I think it's one of those fights where Jeff Horn had a lot of hype and buzz around him because of the Pacquiao fight, obviously, and Tim Tszyu has a lot of hype because of his name. And if Tim Tszyu beats Jeff Horn, then he gets all that hype out of Australia in that region, and he becomes a regional star. And we know this: Jeff Horn does numbers. From an online perspective, Jeff Horn does numbers.
Seeing as I'm on BoxRec, shall I see if he's still top 10 pound for pound?
Oh my God! Is he still number 3 in the middleweight division or something like that?
I'll check. Hang on.
PSK saying, is there a MCR Discord? Yes, there is. I don't know. I never go on it, to be honest. If it's nasty now, I apologize. I blame Rob.
No. It's not really massively used, but we haven't really pushed it. So
yeah, we don't. I don't use it, to be honest.
I wanted to give a big shout out to
Jeff
PSK.
Horn is the number 10 middleweight in the world.
Liam Roscoe, our resident Australian correspondent, so to speak, saying full capacity is 30,000 in Townsville. They still have a reduced capacity at this point. They want to have 30,000. So yeah, interesting.
I've got Jeff Horn winning that.
I wanted to give a big shout out to PSK because he's fixed my computer and he has the same Carolina Blue 3. So he's the MVP of today's show.
PSK, don't encourage this guy.
He told you to turn your computer off and on again.
He fixed it.
It's not Stephen Hawkins out here. Come on. Well, obviously, but
oh my God!
No wonder he types so fast.
PSK is saying, is there a link or invite only? I don't know the link. It's
PSK.
I don't think it's invite only.
PSK. If you're on Twitter, message UK Rob MCR. And I'll send you the Discord.
It's right there at the bottom of the screen. UK Rob.
Into the mic.
Into the mic. Moving on. Rob, do you have that top 30 heavyweights that could beat Carlos Takam?
Yeah, I'll just read out the. Hang on. Where's it gone? There we go. Sorry, I still had pound for pound. Just so you know, I've only got to find one more because BoxRec have got Takam at the 29.
Do they really?
Yep.
Oh my God.
You guys think Takam is this bad? Really?
All right. So Fury beats.
No, I see the names you're going to mention. I'm going to be so mad. Oh my God.
Wait. Well, what do you mean?
Just go. Just go.
So, do you agree the top 25 on that list, Matt, beat him?
No, I don't agree with the top 25 on that list. I don't.
No, that beat Takam.
No, I'm on box track right now too, right?
Who on that 25 beats Takam?
Beats him or doesn't beat him?
Doesn't beat him. Sorry.
F.A. Ajagba doesn't beat him. Dominic Brazil doesn't beat him. Philip Hrgovic maybe doesn't beat him. Martin Bakole doesn't beat him. Jared Washington doesn't beat him.
Bakole smashes him up. What are you talking about?
Robert Herlanius doesn't beat him. Charles Martin doesn't beat him.
I don't know, man.
I'm with Matt.
That's about it. I would probably pick.
I don't know. He looked. Joey Forrest fight was just
Philip
woeful.
Hrgovic.
Yeah, easily. But I'm gonna go underneath.
No. I said a lot of names, and Rob just
I'm gonna find some that are above 30 that beat him. Obviously Guido, right, Gary?
No, Guido. The future of the heavyweight division does not beat him.
Rob, that was so good.
Obviously, Jared Anderson beats him too.
No.
I'm going to give you Guido just because I have to be a
No, Gary, no.
He can't find 29. I'm giving him Guido. Gerald Washington doesn't beat him. Philip Hrgovic doesn't beat him.
There's no way F.A. Ajagba beats Carlos Takam. Even though he's fighting Jay Prince is not going to get in the ring and stab, allegedly, Carlos Takam. That's not happening, okay?
We saw Maurice Wack give Dillian White trouble in Saudi Arabia.
So Carlos Takam could beat up Dillian White, is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying
Joe Joyce doesn't.
I'm saying Wack beats Takam.
I would pick Joe Joyce against Carlos Takam, though. I would.
Let's make it. Let's see it. Let's do it.
Adam Wanaki. I pick Carlos Takam to beat Adam Wanaki.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Ajit Kabayal beats Takam.
Dude, I still don't think I've ever seen that guy fight.
He's fighting this week, I think.
I don't care.
All right. Well, that's why you won't ever see him fight, Matt, because you don't care. Junior Farr would beat him.
Rob, get out. You don't believe that.
Let me give you a real one.
No. I've seen Junior Farr get knocked out in a post limb and got saved. Okay. No, he's no.
Junior Farr.
Where did you see him get knocked out?
It was a post limb. It was at one of the, what card was it? I was credentialed for it. So what card was it?
He's 19-0, so you haven't seen him get knocked out. Dude,
like I said, he was saved.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Wilder Sconian.
Yes. A lot like that. It was a top rank card, wasn't it? Because he signed top rank. So what card was it?
I don't know.
I remember seeing this. It was a post limb, and it was a walk off bout. Like it was one of those main event already happened. Fuck, what was it? It's gonna bug me now. Anyways, but he was
let me give you a real Michael Hunter versus Takam. Who wins?
Michael Hunter. I pick Michael Hunter. He's
okay.
a better boxer. I think he can outbox Carlos Takam and win decision. But again, those are close fights. Carlos Takam is. I will say this though, a lot of these top 30 guys are interchangeable.
Sure.
I will say that to a degree. But Martin Bakole, no, I'm sorry, he's not good.
Yeah, he is, man.
I don't get the hype about him at all. I think just because he's with Matchroom. That's just all it is.
No.
Tom Schwartz, Otto Valine, you guys are funny in the chat. Stop right now. That version of Tyson Fury against Otto Valine, Carlos Takam.
No, stop
him out.
Can we talk about that? What the heck was wrong with Tyson Fury and the Otto? Was Valine, right? That he looked really crap against.
He was on the good coke, man.
Huh?
Oh my god.
That was. I'm Fury. You know, I think Fury is the best heavyweight in town until Usyk takes over. But that was awful.
Huey Fury, Carlos Takam.
I bet Romanov beats Takam, and I bet Makhmudov beats him.
They just mean random Russian fighters because, they're Russian. So
Tony Yoka.
I didn't mention Tony Yoka as a guy that would lose to him. I think Tony Yoka is a good prospect. I always thought that.
Dave Allen ducks under and hits him to the body.
Talking to the mic.
I did. Dave Allen ducks under a big bomb and does him to the body like he did Lucas Brown.
Sergey Kuzman. I would probably pick Takam over Kuzman.
Yeah, maybe.
I
don't know. We won't find out because Bakole's going to destroy him in fight camp.
That's one of those heavyweight fights I largely I'm trying to care about. But just
Don't force yourself. Don't force yourself.
Because it's just none of these guys are going to be champion. And at best,
Kuzman Kuzman beat Joe Joyce in the amateurs.
I
And
think
today, Joyce and Bacoli went to war, apparently in sparring. So.
I did. Oh, I did see that from Coogan.
Yeah.
Daniel Kinahan's right hand man, right there. I will say that. What was I going to say?
They're sponsored by MTK, which has nothing to do with Daniel Kinahan.
Nothing, absolutely nothing at all, guys.
Formerly MGM, then it was sold, and that's it. Everything
It was sold. It
went their separate ways.
Yeah, come on, guys. It's not like MTK was the one that made the press release saying that.
By the way, friend of the show, Alan Dawson, he might have to be approaching Darren Till this week. And
you blew up the guy's spot right there, snitching. But yeah, I know. I talked to him about that.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Alan, man. Good luck.
I didn't blow anything up. I just said he's going to talk to Darren Till this week.
Yo, but did he say that publicly?
Say what?
Never mind.
They're reporting for Fight Island.
I know. Never mind.
Why wouldn't he talk to Darren Till?
Never mind, Rob. Move off of it. But I think this was a good little segment here, guys. As we can tell, Rob was full of shit. Call us talk him. He can be in the top 20.
No, he is in the top 20. He's for sure.
I like
in the
that
top
he's
20.
stretching out.
What?
If we keep the show going, he could be top 25. Yeah, he could be top 30.
He is top 20. I mean, we just named 10 guys in the top 30 that are ranked above him on BoxRec that he would lose to.
All right.
So Matt,
you think FA beats him? No, I'm talking to Rob now.
FA, maybe a little early. Who knows? But yeah, probably. He's got Jay Prince with him now, right?
All right, next topic.
Yo, bro, I hate Rob so much, man. This entire topic was a troll. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Michaela,
I was addressing the listener.
Yeah, let's talk about Michaela Mayer. This is interesting. Like I thought, I want your.
Rob, did you watch the fight by chance?
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
Was it on BT or?
No. Okay. Fight TV.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen Daily Motion.
We don't support piracy here. Yes, we do. Michaela Mayer defeated Helen Joseph, and I mean, like, showed us levels to her game that we didn't think was there. Showed us, I mean, a boxing IQ that I don't think we thought was there. I mean, Michaela Mayer had a near perfect performance, in my opinion. Helen Joseph, I thought, really came strong. I thought she was going to be a great B-side, and she kind of was that. I thought she was going to be far more efficient with the pressure, and she just wasn't. She wasn't able to really cut off the ring as efficiently as she wanted to. She did land a lot of good shots and stuff, but I thought Michaela Mayer's defense, her ability to laterally adjust and create traps and setups to counters was just beautiful. Plus, her jab was on point. Her right hand was on point. Like, everything about Michaela Mayer was on point last night. To the point where I'm actually thinking that I was completely wrong about Mayer's upside and potential. I'll be honest. Gary's apparently hating here, but
I'm not hating.
No, it's just disagreeing.
Hold on. This was a illuminating performance for me from Michaela Mayer.
God.
I don't think she beats Katie Taylor next, but I now think she is competitive in that fight when before I never thought she would be competitive against that level of competition.
Why is Katie Taylor coming to this conversation?
Because that's the obvious thing.
Michaela Mayer is a very tall and big 130-pounder. Moving to 135 will not be hard. That's the super fight for her. Yeah, she's going to collect a belt against somebody at 130, but 135.
Bob said after that I think he said WBA, but it's a title next. But watch it be a gold or a regular.
Oh my god, that'd be messed up.
It was.
She will be so pissed.
She looked sharp. She looked precise with her combinations. She did. Okay. There was. She's the female Luke Campbell. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Luke Campbell is very, very skilled, but
she didn't win a gold, right?
She faded like she watched rounds 5 and 6. Like, she's not doing anything. And then she picked it up again late, right? But like there was like and I agree. Like, she's competitive with Katie Taylor, just like Luke Campbell's competitive, and she can win rounds. She's skilled. She throws good combinations. She's quick. Like, she's long and rangy. but she's not going to beat any of these top people. Like at the highest level. She'll look great against Helen Joseph. She looks great because it's a pressure fighter and she's going to come forward and she's going to light him up. But I mean, I don't see, it's like Luke Campbell. It's like, okay, like nothing's really, it's really good. It's fundamentally sound. But I don't see, like, what happens when it's a good pressure fighter? Or what happens when someone pressures who's really, I'm still exactly in the same position with her.
Helen Joseph arguably beat Delphine Persoon in her last fight.
Yeah, that's weird. Triangle theories are weird. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I mean, Helen Joseph is one of those people that, like, her resume does not reflect how good she is. And again, if you really understand how good Helen Joseph is, then you would understand how impressive Michaela Mayer looked last night. I think she absolutely collects a couple belts at 130. Like I think that happens. It's gonna be a big super fight that she might lose, and so what?
That's fine. But I think like she can win rounds, but it's gonna be hard for her to win fights. I don't see. And I just want to say one thing. She's the biggest advocate for 3-minute rounds. I think if they were 3-minute rounds in that Joseph fight, I think it's a different fight. I'm not saying Helen Joseph wins, but it's a different fight. She is so strong. Helen Joseph is like I think she could wear her down if there were 3-minute rounds in that fight. I really do. Like I think the fight looks differently.
I cannot wait. I know it's not next, but I cannot wait for the Terry Harper fight with Michaela Mayer. That's going to be a really, really good fight.
Harper all day long.
I might pick Harper in that fight. I think Harper's upside's a lot more. Plus, she's a lot younger, so that's probably why she has more upside, in my opinion. Yeah. And plus, like whatever Mayer does, I think Harper does a lot of the same things too. But I mean, that to me, other than one of them fighting Delphine Persoon or like what was the other chick's name? It starts with an H. I'm not gonna try to pronounce
it.
Thank you. Like that's the fight now for Michaela Mayer. Is like those top 3 or 4 women.
Brodnicka as well.
Mm-hmm.
The other battle, but Michaela tweeted earlier, "What's up?" and then tagged the other 3, Terry Harper, Hamadouche, and Brodnicka.
I love it.
Hamadouche replied, "What's up?" Like same to you. Like you've been offered this twice now and you haven't taken it, and then this, that, and the other. But I mean, apparently Mayer also said on interview that I just hope Eddie Hearn doesn't outbid Bob this time or something like that. So I don't know if Eddie's going to swoop in with any plans that they've got to get Terry Harper a unification, and or whether the plan is maybe let or see if Mayer can pick up a bout, because there's a story there. There's been some back and forth. They could build that into a good a big fight, or a big women's fight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought she'd done really good. She was great, but this nigh-on perfect display that you mentioned, I don't quite see that. You then followed that up by saying she did. Helen Joseph landed a lot of shots and this, that, and the other. So I don't think that's a nigh-on perfect.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
I don't know. What did you say?
I said Helen Joseph did land some good shots, but it wasn't anything close to being effective because Michaela Mayer was laterally perfect. I mean, you tell me like that's not textbook lateral counter boxing, right?
No, it's good. I'm not here saying, well, she was shit. She got a lucky decision or anything like that. She was very good, but I think I don't know. Didn't see that she was. Like, I've seen it all on Twitter this today and like from overnight and how everyone was like blown away. I just wasn't quite sort of blown away. That's all.
I thought this was one of those fights where this was an upset alert right here. Like Helen Joseph could have won this fight easily, in my opinion, and it was Michaela Mayer showing that she was actually elite. We all thought, saying we again, very generally speaking, it may not be we, but just using it, we all thought Michaela Mayer was kind of overhyped. That she wasn't. She was a false bill of goods to us. I think this fight showed us that no, she's the real deal. Like she's legitimately talented. When before we couldn't say that. Am I wrong in that assessment?
I mean, I think it's where she's skilled. She's good. Like you're right. Maybe I gotta I'm underestimating Helen Joseph, right? Maybe Helen Joseph is a better pressure fighter than I'm giving her credit for, which means I should reassess this victory. You're right. I mean, no, she looks sharp. She looks skilled, but like, I thought she faded like in the middle rounds. Like she wasn't throwing a whole lot.
The pace was high though.
It was.
I mean, the amount of movement and combinations they both were throwing. And again, when this fight had a stuttered camp, so to speak, right? I thought it was impressive. And like you said, those first maybe 5 rounds or so, maybe 4 or 5 rounds, if those were 3-minute rounds, there was moments where Michaela Mayer's offense was just, there was so much volume at times that was coming at Helen Joseph that she could have got a TKO finish or something to that degree. Maybe could have got some knockdowns. But again, we have 2-minute rounds, and that's just a crime.
She should fight Selena Barrios next.
To the point of 3-minute rounds, I did like that the telecast and the commentators also echoed that kind of loudly that women fights should be 3-minute rounds. I don't think we really heard as loud as a proclamation as those guys did. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of that ESPN commentary booth and that team, but credit to them and credit to where it's due. They were loudly saying, no, women's fights should be 3 minutes per round. Like, this is ridiculous. You know, they mentioned MMA fights and how women's MMA has the same amount of time. Look at all the great fights we have in women's MMA. They just said a lot of the right things. So credit to them.
Too bad no one was watching.
But that's everything I'm talking about. No one's watching. And plus, quickly, they don't promote any of these cards.
No, I just don't understand.
Like, I don't see any promos on ESPN even for this shit. Like, they don't push it at all. So of course they're not going to do good numbers. And on top of that, all these main events have been canceled, have been falling out. So you can't even really get good promotion for it because the main event you should be promoting keeps falling out.
Shout out to Clay Collard gaining cult following out here on these streets, getting TV time.
Shout out to him. That opponent was awful. I mean, just terrible.
So bad.
Collard got the A-side treatment. He's earned that guy. He's beat like X amount of undefeated fighters. He stepped in there, put on and got some entertaining fights. But he's actually got I think he's got a deal with PFL. Oh yeah, professional.
Oh, he does?
Fighting. Yeah, cool. He's with them, and he's actually once things because that's they cancelled everything, right? This didn't they for the year or something?
Yep,
They've already. But when that all starts up again, he's in a tournament. Which I think the winner gets $1 million or something. Obviously gets paid.
It's MMA, not boxing, Gary. But they have an ESPN2 deal. It's not main ESPN, it's ESPN2.
And on an interview, he sounded like boxing was maybe more his thing, like he enjoyed it more. But PFL were good to him. And he stood by them. They came to him, offered him this, that, and the other. So he's honoring that, and he seems like a really good guy, really. But yeah, shout out to him.
He was a decent UFC fighter too. You know, he was a good top 30-ish guy. You know, kind of like that range.
Oh, so 50, top 50 then. By the way, speaking of, I think you just said saying the right thing. Just a quick one on ESPN MX. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza. Just to let's just wrap up this all these titles floating around. All right, he's clarified it so we can just, as boxing fans, not get angry anymore. They tell me there must only be one champion, but they don't give solid arguments why. A boxer who has a title does better. A promoter who has a title fight does better. The same fan, if he knows there is a title, it's more attractive or is more attentive. Sorry, there you go. So,
wait, can you say that first part again?
They tell me there must only be one.
Gilberto Mendoza is the president of the WBO or WBA?
BA.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, he said they tell me there must only be one champion, but don't give solid arguments. So
yeah,
was that the first bit, or did you want the?
I don't need the rest of it. I remember it now. Thank you. I'm good. I'm good after that.
So leave him alone, everybody. Now he's tidied that all out for you. Stop bringing up interims and golds and regulars.
It's better for fighters to have more belts
and promoters and fans. If you know there's a title, It's like, woo, there's a title. This must be good.
Must be.
It must be good. It must be good. He's a gold champion.
That sounds better than a regular champion. Like, would you rather be the regular champion or the gold champion?
The gold, yeah, damn right. Yeah.
And you guys wonder why I don't want to do boxing shows right now.
They should do like a pearl belt. Oh, they did that for Amir Khan. That was WBC though, right?
It didn't happen in the end, right?
I don't remember. I don't care.
It didn't happen in the end. I don't think it did.
No, they didn't do it.
Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today's show. Oh my god! Hit the like button, share the show, all that fun stuff. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, on all social media platforms. You know what I say? Hit the like button already. Share the show. Subscribe. Patreon.com. And what else? We should be on sometime later this week. There are some UFC events. I should do a UFC podcast or MMA podcast tomorrow.
Tonight? Oh, is it tomorrow?
There's a fight tomorrow. I'm debating whether just to save the show till Friday after the fights.
Is it Molly McCann fighting tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hey Matt, let me ask you a serious question. Why is UFC doing these great numbers and boxing doing awful numbers? Like, why do you think that is? Like, one's doing great and one's doing terrible.
It's very simple, Gary. I'm glad you asked me. It's because the UFC are still putting out high-level events. They can do that because they pay their athletes 20% of the revenue. Promoters for boxing have to pay their top guys somewhere like 60 to 70% is the average of the total revenue. So the UFC, and plus they have far more restrictive contracts in terms of like where they can tell you to fight, how they can tell you to fight, or what they can tell you to wear, all that fun stuff that independent contractors shouldn't have. So that's how we get these events. Plus, Gary, you're going to love this, right? MMA managers are de facto employees to promoters. So they never have the fighter's best interest at heart. So that's why we get managers, saying that their fighter should go fight halfway across the world in the middle of a pandemic and get paid shit for it. That's why.
Okay. It's a good answer to a good question.
In terms of why fans are watching it, because again, it's high-level fights, it's bigger fights. They still are putting out decent cards. I mean, this last weekend had 3 major title fights on it that were all massive stakes. Even the rest of the fights on the main pay-per-view card were big fights. Paige Van Zandt, who's a well-known sort of celebrity in the sport, Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade. Those are 2 top 5 people in the division. In the most stacked women's division, all of combat sports, and I use that term specifically.
Is the one called Andrade like really boring to watch and like doesn't really?
No.
Oh right, okay. I just wondered if it's like related.
You think of the Usman fight?
No, you said about Andrade.
Oh no, not Demetrius Andrade. No. Different.
So I was tying it in. Like, is she boring to watch or he boring to watch?
No, Jessica Andrade is fucking insane to watch, man. She is
so not related then.
No, knockout fucking machine. So
but yeah, Usman was shit. Right?
That's why they are not getting a dip in pay-per-view numbers and viewership. If anything, they're getting a boost in it because they're the only high-level sports entertainment in town. And you can even argue like entertainment because like there's no big movies coming out.
I don't know. There's some hot dogs. There's some hot dogs getting eaten out there.
Like when I went to the drive-in like 2 weeks ago, they were showing like some 2018 horror movie that was god fucking awful. So if you're the only big thing in town, then people are going to watch you.
It is.
Right now, all these boxing cards are not relevant or high-level events. Period. Regardless of a pandemic. So that's why we're going to not see people flock to boxing because it's not good.
The Rangers were supposed to play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium this past weekend, and I was planning, like every year, I try to plan to go up to New York, visit my family, and go to at least 1 or 2 of those games. And that was this weekend because they only go out of division teams. You only play them once a year at their stadium, and just like today's game against the Twins. All 3 Yankee games were canceled. I'm really starting to miss baseball. Like, because there's no good boxing on, there's no NBA playoffs. and there's no baseball. It's
It is what it is. We're gonna head out here though. We got to get out of here. Jump to saying, and nobody's worried about being undefeated. Every boxer has an O and is super cautious in every fight they take. That is somewhat true, especially in the last 15 years or so. But I think that is grossly overstated.
I think that's changing now. I think some of these young guns in the boxing are like, let's do it. And it's the promotional side that are like, whoa, we can make some more money off of it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that that statement even a decade ago was overstated. Look at Pacquiao Mayweather's run from 2009 to 2015. Just look at that. When we first started talking about Mayweather Pacquiao to when the fight actually happened. Look at the names they fought. They're not bad names.
No,
the worst name is Joshua Clottey.
There's some Pacquiao versus Shane Mosley at that point after he got a draw with Latin Snake. What the hell's his name?
Mora.
Yeah, it was one of the worst fights of all time, and he's probably lucky to get a draw. That fight was pretty bad, and I'm a huge Mosley fan. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be bad names in a 6-year run. There's always going to be names like, "Why did you make?" But you're right. They mostly fought good fighters.
Look at the Pacquiao Marquez, Pacquiao Morales, Pacquiao Barrera's in the mid 2000s. We had some really bitching ass fights in that dark age.
Yeah.
That people I think kind of just want to throw under the rug as that was the dark age of the sport. That was the Mayweather era where it was everyone only cared about the O, and that's why we had shit fights. Well, we didn't have shit fights, and I think we had a lot of people take big fights, big risk in that era as well. I think what we come into with boxing and MMA is that again the restrictive nature of contracts is such a significant issue. Boxing contracts, because of the Ali Act, are just drastically different now. And that's just a reality. The MMA fighters do not have the Ali Act to protect them. And the Ali Act protects boxers in significant ways. And I think you have fighters in boxing take a lot of control, a lot of autonomy of their career because they can. Because they have that avenue where they can be in control of their career. And in MMA and the UFC specifically, you can't. So, I feel like that's always a knock on boxing that's really misstated. But digressing, I started ranting. Find me, Mount Hunter, MCR, on all social media platforms. I'll be back whenever we are back. Hit the like button, all that fun stuff. Rob.
UK Rob, MCR, Instagram and Twitter. I guess just keep looking out what the news is going to be. Hopefully, John Ryder has got that big fight on the Rock. Welcome to the Rock. What else? Joshua Pulev on a boat in November on the Thames, maybe in the sea. Who knows? Could be cold. Wear a coat. Catch you on the next one. Maybe. Depends. When's it going to be? We know.
Gary.
Biannual, whatever.
Oh,
Gary,
this is where we are in 2020. We're hoping for a John Ryder versus Canelo fight.
Fire. What are you talking about?
Fire in the booth.
Find me all from social media, 3D Boxing blog, from Texas to the world. Thank you. And God bless.
Have a great day. Peace, everyone.